Welcome to the Happy, Healthy Life Podcast with your hosts, Rob and Randy, who reveal the truth, the lies, and confusion about health so that you are no longer the victim to mainstream medical dogma and you are the hero to your own happy, healthy story.
Yeah. So now tell us, because we were talking about this before we started, we always ask people, so when we're talking about healing metabolism, what were the non-weight loss related benefits that you had as a result of the program?
The biggest thing for me, and this is something that I have been studying in depth since doing this, and I almost texted you guys, but I wanted it to be kind of spur of the moment, was the reduction in anxiety and the increase in mental focus. And for somebody that's just launched their own business and I'm flying all over shooting commercials, the ability to be on it, to be clear-headed, to truly feel like myself again, that's the biggest gift. And that is the biggest thing that I've keyed into. And so I've done all this research and reading, and these guys know even more than I do, but the correlation between an anti-inflammatory diet and increased brain health, there are a million studies. And on the flip side, the inflammatory diet, and this was interesting to me, it's especially so for women, there are higher rates of depression, anxiety, OCD, ADD, all of the things. But you see it even more with women, men and women both, but like the stats are just crazy.
Yeah, and that's huge right now, because it seems like anymore depression and anxiety is running rampant.
Yes.
We see it everywhere,
Yeah.
and in all ages, really.
Yeah.
And the only solution that's being offered right now is more drugs, more pharmaceuticals, more
oral therapy,
more oral,
right? Which is like a great way, what a PC way of saying you're going to be on drugs the rest of your life because you have a chemical imbalance, and the only way to resolve that, disregard nutrition. Not everybody, but most doctors, that's the camp they land in. And it's really lazy, if we're going to be honest, because how can you correlate or disconnect an inflamed lifestyle and an inflamed brain? And that has nothing to do with why you have anxiety and you're depressed and you can't manage your emotions.
And for me, there is no magic pill that you can take that if you are putting crap in your body, if you're not moving it, for me, movement is very key, even though you don't have to work out like crazy when you're doing this program. I do it for fun, but there's no pill that's going to fix all of that.
You got it.
I do. I've talked to people that medication has so improved their lives. However, they made lifestyle changes as well. You can't just take the pill. I mean, I'm not a doctor, but it's common sense.
You don't have to be a doctor. We're not giving medical advice, but listen, you can't poison yourself into health, and your problems are never because you're deficient in a medication. That's not your problem. I may not know the solution to your problem, but I know this: if you give drugs to a healthy person, it makes them sick. I was giving drugs to a sick person, going to make them healthy. Can you mask symptoms? Can you help people get through tough moments? No doubt about it. But what are we going to do to help get back to the reason why you're depressed in the first place? And I don't know that pills should be the first response in most of these situations.
Well, we were talking about Dr. Daniel Amen, who I've been reading a lot of his work. I suggest you guys check it out. But he essentially says the same thing. He still says medication has a place. However, try all of these other things first. Change your diet. Look at the supplements. Look at who you're surrounding yourself with. Do you have purpose in life?
Amen.
Are you moving? I mean, it's the very basic things. That's why it is such common sense.
Which I think it's so hard for people right now, because let's face it, right now we are in the I want it right now mentality, right? With social media, it's the quick hits, the quick dopamine hits to be able to help you feel good and all the things. But the reality is that when the solution to not feeling good, whether it be, physically or mentally, is medication, and you lifestyled yourself into that system, right?
Yeah.
You can't medicate your way out of something that you lifestyled yourself into.
You've got to make changes.
You've got to make changes, or it's just going to continue to be those quick hits.
Yes.
And then the next thing you know, you're like, oh my God, how did I get to here? You're at that rock bottom place.
Yeah.
And without any more solutions than
Yes.
than you had before that got you into that.
It's so true. And I think as Rob and I, as holistic doctors, one of the questions we've always asked clients is, and this is really comes from Hippocrates, the father of modern medicine, is really, are you willing to stop doing the things that are making you sick? It's a good question. Right. And I think I didn't necessarily ask,
because if the answer is no, then
then what
now's not the time to make a change.
You're not ready to make the change. You really aren't ready to do what it's going to take. You've thought about it and it sounds cute, but you really haven't committed. There's not enough pain maybe yet in your life, or you're really disconnected from, what is the risk for you if you keep going down this road and you don't change what you're doing. Sometimes we just think it's not going to be us. But I mean, Hannah Davis, let's look at the numbers. The numbers are real. If you live in America, you've got almost no shot of living past 50 without heart disease, stroke, cancer, diabetes, depression, inflammation, arthritis. Like, it's pervasive. And all of these are metabolic conditions. Oh my gosh. And none of these are caused by drug deficiencies.
And we've accepted it. We've accepted that as a norm. I'm lucky in the sense that I have two parents that are very healthy, and they're healthy because of their lifestyles. And so I look at them, my dad, it's his birthday. Happy birthday, Dad.
Happy birthday.
Love you, Dad. Although he was really mad when I did this program, because normally
y'all do your glass of wine.
We do our glass of wine on the back porch, and I went to go visit him. And I had a cup of tea instead. And he was like, what the hell is this? But once you're done with the 5 weeks.
Just not to freak out the audience. You're not saying you can't have wine.
Once you're done with the 5, but you can come back to that in a healthy way. And let me tell you, that first glass of wine I had,
it hits different.
I appreciated it. Like you savor. It's not just this compulsory thing that you're doing. It's, this is good. This is a celebration. It's intentional. Intentional is the word.
Intentional is amazing. So if you were going to say then to the listeners as well, like if there were going to be some action steps for them to take based on your experiences in life, what are some action steps or things that they could do to really improve their overall happiness and their healthiness?
Well, let's go back to that word of intentionality. And I think that this is something I've observed. I've interviewed thousands of people probably. We're so busy in our day-to-day lives that we never take a moment to go to the balcony. This is a phrase that my dad and I use. So pretend your life is this play on a stage. You're on the stage. You're in the thick of it. Go to the balcony and look down and give yourself perspective. Maybe you take a long weekend and you really think about this, or maybe it's journaling every morning, but thinking, what do I want my life to look like? And it can be as specific. Lupe Prado, who's a coach here, she said, what do you want your day to look like? And I started saying, I don't know, general things. She goes, no, what time do you want to wake up? And what do you want to do when you wake up? And who do you want to be surrounded by? So get really specific on what you want life to look like. And then you can start making the moves to get there. But just being in tune with how you feel, people, food, exercise. How do you feel after you talk to a certain person? Are you drained?
Wow.
Or is your battery charged? And if you can avoid that type of person as much as possible, great. And if you can surround yourselves with the chargers as much as possible, great. But I would say get really specific and really introspective.
I love that. I call that the, if you look at your phone and you have no desire of actually picking up the person that's calling, that's the energy vampire. You know what I'm like? It's like,
and we all know and have that person, if not multiple.
I have none of that.
Some of our family members, heck, some of you guys might be married to that person. I don't know. I'm not giving marriage advice. Clearly, I'm unqualified at that.
That's a whole nother episode.
That's a whole nother podcast.
And I heard yesterday, I was also talking, I was interviewing a person to be able to help me with even more having more mental clarity, my heart health. This being my birthday month, I've been really being intentional about doing things to take care of me. So I was interviewing this guy to be able to help me with my heart health. And one of the things
when you say heart health, do you mean the actual organ, or do you mean like your heart, like in the spiritual sense?
My heart in the spiritual sense, soul, just being able to up level who I am, really just surrender to, who God created me to be, and just like just let myself be as authentic as possible.
Yeah.
Right. So he said, he goes, one of the things about you, Rob, and this is, I'm like airing some dirty laundry, right? I'm being authentic with you guys can hear. He goes, one of the things that you do is, he goes, it's the difference between the bear and the hawk. And here's what he said. He goes, the bear is just interested in what it is that he's going to eat, what he's going to take care of that's right in front of him. He's on ground level, right? He goes, versus the hawk, the balcony is literally guiding, he's above everything, right?
Yeah.
He's thousands of feet up in the air, and he's taking inventory of exactly what's going on. He can see, okay, that's my next prey down there. That's this over here. Here's this over here. And he's really looking at everything from that view. He goes, Rob, you're the hawk, but you're acting like the bear. And
I love that.
He goes, once we can get you into your hawk, life changes, but that's going to take, the other thing that we just said, he goes, but that's going to take surrendering a lot of those things that are right there in front of you right now. You're going to have to give those things up to be able to become that. And you know what? When you do that, everything's going to be okay.
You may have to put me in touch with this person, because I've just launched my own company, Well Told Productions, where I'm working with different companies. I'm coaching CEOs, marketing teams on how to be on camera. I'm doing commercials. I'm doing social media content. I could say yes to everything that's immediately in front of me. But the hawk looks at it and says, okay, what do I get really excited about?
Yes.
What jazzes me up? For me, communications and storytelling coaching, I'm surprised by this. When I help somebody find their voice, I get so excited. Paycheck is lovely too, but I get so excited.
Real talk.
And there's other things that I have done as I'm launching this company. And you guys know this, being entrepreneurs, there will be multiple iterations where, okay, the paycheck's nice, but like, I don't want to do that.
You got it.
So be that hawk, because you can fly anywhere, but fly to the right places. I'm stealing that.
Yeah, that's good. Me too.
Absolutely. So I'll put you in touch.
I'm not kidding. That'd be fantastic.
Absolutely. He's amazing. And I look forward to even my journey, with him, but
It's
I really feel like in life, we all need somebody to help guide us, somebody who's been there, who knows where you're going, but they're also where you want to be in life. And it sounds like that's really what you're great at. And that's what you've been doing, because you could have stayed doing what it is that you were doing, right? Being the bear. So I think you really are a hawk. Yeah. Okay. And you decided to make a change.
Yes. And there were so many things that were in alignment. So for those of you that don't know, I had a pretty cush gig. I was the lifestyle host at Good Morning Texas. So grateful for the opportunity. You all still work with them. I could have resigned and stayed, but I knew there were things that I wanted in my life. I wanted more autonomy. I wanted more creative projects. I wanted to grow both financially and as a person. And that form I had outgrown, and it was tough. Oh, when I tell you, and you guys saw it towards the end, the stress level I had when I was making that decision, because I'm like, oh, on paper, I should be staying. But like my gut, my body, my soul, it knew. And once I made the decision, like that stress evaporated. But it is that idea of intentionality. And as soon as I did that, I had a meeting with you guys. I get on this program, and it's also taking control of physically how I feel, which impacts so many parts of your life, all parts of your life, truly. And my mantra, I don't know where I heard it or if I came up with it. I'm going to say I came up with it, and then I'm brilliant.
Like that. Let's go with that.
We're going to go with that. No. But it happened when I was doing your program. It was control what you can control and let the rest go. And on my best days, I'm doing that 95%. On my worst days, I'm doing it 4%, where I'm focusing on what I can't control. I'm trying to change that. And the things I can control, what I put in my body, who I surround myself with, I'm just making the wrong choices. So control what you can control. And that starts with the food you eat. It's so huge, so huge.
Yeah. And it's so simple.
It's almost too simple.
And that the
It's just
problem,
trust the
right?
process,
Like
right?
everybody becomes a researcher when you tell them to eat real food.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it's pushback, 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 because kind of what you said earlier, Dr. Rob, we kind of fall into this culture of this quick fix mentality, and we really aren't intentional
Yes.
about looking at this from a completely different perspective, like the hawk,
Yeah.
seeing things from above, from the balcony, to see where am I headed, where am I going? Is what I say I want, am I congruent with my lifestyle and my behavior?
Mm.
And is that going to get me where I say I want to be? And if
Yeah.
it's not, which most of us, it really isn't,
Yeah.
then you really have to ask yourself the right question. Do I really want what I say that I want? And if you do, there are people like yourself, like us, who really do live with intention, not perfectly,
No.
but do have the intention enough to help guide and lead,
Yeah.
because we all need that in our life. And I'm so happy you guys are getting help from this counselor, because my heart is completely healed. I'm 100% fine.
Oh, you're
I don't
perfect?
need any help at all.
Oh.
I don't need anybody at all. But I'm really praying and rooting for you guys with this counselor, that y'all are going to get your hearts healed, because
Thank
everything
you.
about me, I've just really reached a point where everything is fine. And you know I'm kidding right now, because if anybody needs help in this room, it would definitely be me.
I think
it
it's-
is all of us.
I think it's
but-
every human. It is every human. But I love that. I'm praying for you. I always say that's like the Christian lady's way
Oh,
of saying to F off. I'll pray.
Basically,
I'm gonna pray for
Bless
you.
your heart.
In Texas, if you're not from Texas, bless your heart. It's
Yeah,
not a compliment.
Exactly.
listen, I don't want to gossip about so-and-so, but let's bring them up, because we really care for this person and
Mhm.
talk bad about them behind their back.
Bless their
This is
heart.
not gossip.
Okay, so I've got a question, because one of the things you said is surrender. I know some of the listeners, they've got a decision in their life that they know
Yeah.
that they should make, and they're not making.
Yep.
Okay.
You know,
And
you
so,
know.
yeah, absolutely. You know.
Yeah.
Okay. And everybody is so like, okay, well, results, focus.
Mm.
What are some of the results that have happened as a result of you taking that leap, surrendering, so that they can be able to have some like real tangible things to go, okay, I've been thinking about it, but I don't want to do it. But if I do, I know it's going to be better. But there's no guarantees about anything in life. However, what are some of the real benefits that you've had since surrendering?
I will start by answering that in respect to the program I did with you all. The thing that's going to get like butts in chairs is the weight loss. 21 pounds down, keeping that off, feeling fantastic. The body is resilient, able to bounce back. I'm also taking care of it for the most part when I'm not on like an amazing vacation. The sleep that I'm getting is beyond. I've always been a good sleeper, but this is next level. I naturally wake up at 6 a.m. feeling so good. The snoring is gone. My husband, again, he's going to send you guys a thank you note. I used to so I like to lift weights, pain in my knee, my left knee, that's gone. I don't know if it's because of the weight loss or the loss of inflammation or both.
Probably.
Yeah,
all of the above.
Yeah.
That's gone. What else? And then the mental clarity. The mental clarity is that's been the biggest gift to me, because your mind, your body, it's all connected. I hate when people say, oh, it's just all in their head. What does that mean? What does that mean? It's all in their head. If they are experiencing suffering, misery, aches, pains, just because it starts in your head doesn't make it real. So this is like a clean out for your brain too. So those are the things that surrendering to this program, which isn't complicated. It is very straightforward. However, it does take willpower. And I'm just rambling now. And the fact that it takes willpower, that was a gift, because this was a hard thing for me to do. And I did it, and I never broke. And that was one of the biggest gifts. The feeling of, I have self-discipline, I'm worth it. And when I do exercise that self-discipline, it is a gift to me. It's not even a punishment. It's a gift. I would rather live that way than have the cupcakes
That's
all day.
well
You can
said.
do hard things. Okay, so
Do
tell
hard things.
the listeners, number one is I want them to know how to be able to find you and connect with you.
Mhm.
Okay. I want them to be able to benefit, but I know one of the things that you were just talking about is what it is that you're working on, what you're passionate about is helping people to be able to find their story,
Yeah.
find their voice.
Yeah.
Tell us about what it is that you're doing with that.
So I've got a company, it's called Well Told Productions. And what I do is what I realized working 15 years in broadcast television is I would do live interviews with gentlemen like you. You guys know your story. I never had to make you feel more comfortable. You guys came in easiest. However, a lot of people would come into live TV petrified, terrified, overwhelmed, and they didn't even know what their story was. So my job was to make them comfortable and to feel seen and to forget that a camera was rolling. That is fantastic on a morning television show, but it serves you when you're going for that promotion. It serves you when you are talking to investors, if you're with a corporation. It serves you if you are the face of your brand, like the two of you are. Again, you guys don't really need coaching, so I can't make money off of you. Unfortunately.
We actually did need coaching.
But what it is to help somebody find their authentic voice and then find out what's the problem that they found, what's the solution that they created, what makes them different than a crowded market, because every market's crowded. You guys know this in the health space.
Oh, wow.
Talk about a crowded market, but every single market's crowded.
Yeah.
And what's the value to your customer? And if you can find your voice and explain those things and do so in a comfortable way, one, it makes you see yourself in a different way just as a human. And that's the thing that makes me feel the best. And when I get a phone call and somebody says, oh my gosh, like I just made a huge sale, that's fantastic.
Yeah, that's got to be so gratifying, because now you're really making an impact on others who can impact literally millions of other people. So what you're doing is making a huge difference.
Well, there's a chain reaction. And then on the flip side of it, I still love attention. So I'm doing
100.
I'm doing on camera work and commercials. Don't forget that. Call me. If you don't want the coaching, I'll talk for you.
Shameless plug.
Yeah.
Listen, where can they go, Hannah, to connect with you?
Go to hannahdavis.com, and that's HANNAH, Davis Speaks. And then you can find me on social media, and you're going to love my handle.
I love this handle.
It's Hungry Hannah, because I do love food. And guess what? I get to enjoy food.
And
Doing your program.
I know, and you do have a hunger for life as well.
I do.
It's
And
about-
learning. Yeah.
and learning. So I love the Hungry Hannah. It's beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
So thank you for being here. I'm going to have one more question for you. But
Okay.
before we get to that, if you're listening and you want to get results like Hannah did, you want better sleep, you want the mental clarity,
Less snoring.
less
Yes.
snoring, less
For-
inflammation.
Yes.
We've got our challenge coming up on August the 28th. All you got to do is go to h2thinchallenge.com and sign up for free.
What? I thought we were going to charge. I don't know what you're asking me.
No, it's-
pointed at
it's-
me, and I'm
it's-
like, what am I supposed to say right now?
He's wanting to charge you.
I could tell you were like, what?
It's there. So free.
No, it's a free. Listen, we're going live for free for 4 days, and we are giving them
Our very best stuff.
You're getting our absolute best stuff. We are holding nothing back.
I love that.
And I can't wait, because we now, at this point, it's so fun. We have so much evidence about the strategies that we've been living and teaching now, and seeing all the transformations. It's so exciting. So it'll be live 4 days. It'll be recorded, replayed in the evenings, and it's 100%. What's it, the cost again, Dr. Rob?
That would be free.
It's free. Yes.
And it's our best stuff.
It is our best stuff. And it's probably the favorite thing we get to do, because as clinicians, we've seen so many people over the years in one-on-one environments, which is great.
Yeah.
This is so much fun, because there's probably going to be close to 15, maybe 18,000 people all over the world.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
Going
amazing.
through this challenge. We're all going through it together.
Because
From all
15, 18 people, I was like, that's amazing.
I mean, that's
And
amazing
then
too.
1,000, I go, what?
This was the size of our groups 20 years ago. It was the 15 to 18 people, but you know what? Those 15 to 18 people pouring into them made the difference.
Yeah.
And you know, each person matters. But to your point, it was the 15 to 18. Now we added a few more zeros.
Yes, you
And
did.
it's super exciting. We have that many people,
That's
all
amazing.
like-minded, wanted to transform. It's very powerful. So anyway, h2thinchallenge.com. Go get registered. August 28th is the kickoff day. So I'm excited. I know you're excited.
Super excited.
It's once again, it's probably the best thing that we do, and we have a blast. You don't want to miss this.
I want to say one thing before your last question.
Go.
So I want to encourage you guys on one of the next podcasts, or I would love to see you guys do more research on the anti-inflammatory lifestyle and what that does for the human brain.
Okay.
Because
the brain.
Anecdotally, I can tell you what it means for me.
Yeah.
But I think that's one of the biggest gifts that people are going to discover. And I imagine you hear that from a lot of people as well.
We do. Yeah. The mental clarity and focus is a huge thing.
And mental health is really, it's a huge thing. And if anything, the last several years, it showed us how valuable that is. And it is literally tanking by the second.
Yeah.
And so, we even really dive into a lot of the causes of that in our challenge, because we know that one of the biggest culprits is omega-6, linoleic acid, seed oil, this industrial oil that never existed before the Industrial Revolution. And it is pervasive. It is ubiquitous. It is in every single thing that we're eating. And it plays a direct role, not only with our metabolism, but with our brain, our nervous system, and how we live and do life. So we're going to dive deep. So if you want to know more, once again, h2thinchallenge.com.
Yes.
Very good.
Absolutely. I almost said to book your spot today. That was Good Morning Texas, though.
Do we want to
still book a spot?
I know it's been, we've been on Good Morning Texas now before you asked the last question, and we've been announcing to Dallas Fort Worth about the challenge. And I keep having to tell myself, could always do the close at this segment. I'm like, all right, where am I going to send them? All right, book your spot at H2. No, hang on. Go to the free challenge site, h2thinchallenge.com. Anyway, I haven't screwed it up yet. We are back on Monday.
Don't say yet.
Yes.
I was about to say, if you do, someone will let you know.
But sometimes that's good. It's authentic. I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. And it's easily correctable.
Exactly. That's why there's two of us.
Thank God.
So, all right. Here we go.
Last question.
So the last question is Hannah, and you had no idea what this question is going to be.
Okay.
All right. So what is your definition of living happy, healthy?
Oh gosh.
Good question. I wasn't even know you were going to ask her this question.
I would say what it is making the next right choice. Making the next right choice. Am I going to have the water, or am I going to have the soda? I don't really like soda, but making the next right choice. And then it just snowballs.
I love it.
I think that would be it.
There you go. That's
good.
I love it because it's simple. I love simple.
Yeah. You guys put me on the spot, but that's what I got for you.
There you go. I love it.
Make the next right choice.
Yeah. And then I promise I'll shut up, everyone. You all have done this with your lives. I'm doing this with mine. It takes you in different direction. If you just make the choice that you made before, whether that's health, career, family, relationships, the next right choice may not be the choice that you made 20 years ago.
True story.
So make the next right choice. Be intentional.
Wow.
I love it.
I'm really sticking with this now.
Awesome.
Now I'm
Go.
liking it. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Hannah Davis, for being here today.
Thank you for having me. And thank you for helping me change my life.
Oh
Seriously.
my gosh, you couldn't be more welcome. Thank you for trusting us with the program.
With pleasure. Absolutely.
Guiding you and leading you. The beauty of this is you were hungry and ready. Hungry Hannah. Definitely ready to take the next step.
Yeah.
So, we could have the best program in the world, but if you're not willing to take the next step and stop doing the things that are making you sick and really going after what you want with intention, then the program wouldn't work for anybody. So thank you for trusting us and being a pleasure to work with.
You're welcome.
And as always, like, share, rate, review the show, The Happy Healthy Life. Share it with your friends, your family members. Thank you so much, Hannah.
You're welcome.
And we love you guys. Thank you guys for listening, for watching. You guys go live your happiest, healthiest life.
God bless.
Thanks for listening to the Happy Healthy Life podcast. If you enjoy the show, make sure to follow them on Instagram at the H2 Life or on YouTube and Facebook at the Happy Healthy Guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, and review the show wherever you listen to podcasts.